All right, good evening. Welcome back to Facebook Live with C4 Operations. And if you're wondering why I have this incredibly hideous sweater on, it was crazy Christmas sweater day at C4 Operations. And so that's why I'm dressed like this. We had a great day today. We did a lot of fun stuff. Number one, we went out and rang the bell for Salvation Army at the Edgewood Hy-Vee. So if you saw us out there, thanks for stopping by and donating to Salvation Army. It was freezing cold out there, but we had a great time. So that was part of the day. And then we also had our fun contest, and props to our sales supervisor, Jake Cunningham, for winning the contest. If you can believe it, this ugly thing didn't even win, so his was really good. And then also we had a potluck, and we brought in some food, and we actually catered in some Olive Garden. Had a great day. So it was a lot of fun, got a lot of work done as well. If you're wondering, yes, we did do your background checks, and we're not just doing all the fun, we are doing work as well. So, but it was a good day at C4 Operations. So thanks for all that contributed to that, and we will enjoy the Christmas season some more in the next coming days here. So what are we going to talk about tonight? We're going to talk about what C4 Operations offers in our employment screenings. All right, so, and this is just part one, by the way. Part two will be next week. We're going to cover three items tonight, and then we're going to cover a few more next week. Too much information to cover all in one night in just a 10 or 15 minute live. So, number one, a national criminal database search. Used to be called InstaCriminal, all right, and a couple years ago when the FCRA said that we as CRAs had to start scrubbing those records and making sure that all the information we were sending back had been verified, the Insta name kind of went away, and so now it's called a National Criminal Database. The database that we use is from a vendor. Even though it's called national, it's not from the government, it's not all states. There are holes and gaps in it. Not all states, not all counties report to it. Actually, we do get information from all 50 states, but not all counties report. So there are holes and gaps in it. That's why it has to be verified. So what we do is we take what we find off of that National Criminal Database, and then we verify that with what we call a live county search. And we'll talk about the county searches more in just a minute. But as far as the National Criminal Database that we use, it is a vendor product, comes from a vendor. There's over 600 million records that we search. Like I said, it does cover all 50 states. And then it also covers a lot of other information as well. 270 national security databases. So for some of you in the medical field, things like the OIG, the Office of the Inspector General, it covers that. It covers the OFAC, the Office of Foreign Asset Control. And it covers a lot of other things, the no-fly list, the national terrorist list, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of other information in there. And then it also covers the National Sex Offender Registry. So we want to make sure that we tell you about that as well. A lot of you are wanting that in your search. That automatically comes in our National Criminal Database product. So there's a lot of good information there. And that is also one of the things that ours comes with is an alias search. So it is automatically going to take the Social Security number that you enter. It's going to get any and all names associated with that name and with that Social Security number and run those through that National Security Database of 600 million plus records. So that's how we catch some alias name searches that maybe you didn't put in that name, but we catch it. That's how it's caught, at least to start with there. And then we're going to roll right into the county search, because then if a record is on the National Crim Database that we use, then we're going to verify that with a county criminal search. Great thing about a county criminal search is, unlike the National Crim Database, there's not a lot of holes and gaps. There are a couple things here and there, but for the most part, 95, 98%, it is solid. The reason is because you have a court reporter sitting in the courtroom typing in that information. That's their job. That information goes straight from there into their system, and then we have a court reporter or a court runner that goes in and gets that information. Sometimes hand-picked, meaning that person actually is at that courthouse asking for those records. Sometimes they go in and use an electronic system. Sometimes there's an electronic system that we have a portal into that system. But it's not just a database. Unlike the National Crim Database, those records aren't just poured in there and then left. This system for a county system is a live system. It's updated every single day. If a person comes back to court and the case is dismissed, it's removed from that system. Unlike the NatCrim, that it could be sitting in there for a long time, for months or years or whatever. So that's why we have to update that information and verify those records. We talk a lot about that, about verification fees and such. That's because if we take a NatCrim crime and we have to go to a county and verify that, that could be a $7 charge. Probably will be a $7 charge. So that's the combination, if you will, between the NatCrim and the county. So we've got the NatCrim, the National Criminal Database search. We've got the county criminal search. County criminal search is very, very good, but you want to keep in mind it's just that county. So it doesn't search all of the state, or it doesn't search all of the other counties around it. It just searches that county. One way to look at those two is a fishing illustration. You have a fishing net, kind of like the NatCrim. You throw it out there. It covers a lot of territory, a lot of information, but there's some holes in it. So maybe some of the fish will slip through or whatever. Well, kind of like that with the National Crim. The county, on the other hand, is kind of like a fishing pole. You toss it out there, and you've got one particular spot that fishing pole is going to fish in. Those spots right there, that is just like a county, because you're not searching the whole lake or the whole whatever. You're just getting just that one area. But if you put the two together, the net and the pole and the fishing pole, you're going to be able to have a pretty good 1-2 punch there. Last thing to cover tonight is our federal searches. That's the federal courthouse, not to be confused with national, okay, like the National Criminal Database. Federal and national are not interchangeable terms. So you've got a National Criminal Database and you've got the federal courthouse. The federal courthouse, really, there's 11 districts of that, and those house different and have different crimes in them and cases than the county and the NatCrim. We're going to go over that more next week, but the federal courthouse and the county courthouses do not communicate. So anything that you search for in a county search or in a national criminal database is not going to be found in a federal courthouse. Completely two different things and do not communicate. There's a lot of other things about the federal courthouse, the reasons you want to do that. Multi-jurisdictional. Anything that is covered in a multi-jurisdictional format, meaning it's not just housed in one county courthouse. Drug trafficking, weapons trafficking, those things are multi-jurisdictional. The internet, a lot of your internet crimes are multi-jurisdictional. So your pornography, child pornography, all those kinds of crimes, most times or a lot of times are in a multi-jurisdictional setting such as the federal courthouse. So you could have a crime sitting in the federal courthouse, but you could do a search in the county or the NatCrim, the National Crim, and not find it because it's over here in the federal. So that's why we really, in our best value package, our $23 package, we recommend all three of those are done. That's part of our package, is the National Crim Database with the Social Security information that's attached to that, the county search, and the federal search are all included in that. That's why we call it the best value, because it really is your best value for your money. So that's the top 3 searches that we offer for employment. Those are the 3 that we recommend. We're going to talk about other things next week, like a whole state search. How does that differ from a county search? Why don't the county and the federals communicate? Employment education verifications, MVRs, drug testing, all of those are the things that we can offer. We're going to talk about those next week. We're out of time for tonight, probably a little bit over time. A lot of information there. As always, if you have any questions about any of that, give us a call here at the office, or we answer our phones 24/7, so give us a call. Have a great night. Thanks for joining us. See ya.